All right, friends, we're gonna do a video on Jason Blaha again, man. We're gonna do a reaction video to the gym lifting recruiting fitness dear slave himself, Jason Blaha, because he's doing a video on chaos training. I think training leg day or something. Looks like it. His legs have no shape. Look at his hamstrings here. His legs. There's nothing going on back there. There's nothing. What's with the other leg there? It's shrunk. It's shrunk. I know it's camera work. People gotta say my leg shrunk. Well, it's camera work, dude. Because obviously, look how small that leg looks. The left there to the right. It's just the angle of inclination or whatever. Anyways, let's see what Blah has to say. Blah says chaos training bicep day. Okay, whatever, man. Bicep day. Okay, it's not leg day. It's bicep day. Oh.
Blood for the blood guys, calls for the throne of corn. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for a bicep day. Kind of as I've looked at my training, something I said earlier, I probably should start treating arms a little bit more like I've done legs to build my massive legs, and that means
to build his massive legs, he should treat his arms like he treats his legs to build massive legs. What legs? He never does any eccentric work. What did he build? Oh, I gotta go through this one more time. Eccentric exercise is what builds bodies. They build muscles, okay? They build bodies, they build muscles, and they build you big and strong. Now, what did Blaha build here? Nothing other than take steroids to lift a heavy weight concentrically. Okay, dude, that's it. So even the strength is fake to lift the heavy weight concentrically. And all his lifts are concentric. There you go. He's adapted to anything that's eccentric coming down. It doesn't matter. It's so light coming down. He's adapted. So what has he built here? Nothing. I don't see no legs. And those arms are like, we all know his arms are 12 inches, okay? Like Alex Newbank's arms came in at 12 and a half and 13 and a half or something. Really small arms, dude. The lady that measured it, he got a video on it. He went to do a DEXA scan, man. 13.5 inches. The Blaha's the same thing. 13, I'd be generous. 13 inches, 13.5. That's it. That's it.
keep the volume a little more moderate. Do really serious pump work at the end.
I will say he's doing a good, these drugs are doing a good job. He's not doing a good job. The drugs are doing a good job at getting him leaned out. That's about it. Temporarily, providing he keeps taking the drugs. Because if he stops, guess what? He's going to turn into a fatso.
But really, I've been doing a lot of rep work, higher rep work, strict controlled for biceps, and quite frankly, I still feel that it's not getting everything that I want. So, like, look, let's just work on going with.
Look at how he brings the weight up. He brings it. He tilts his arms. He brings it right up to his fucking nose or some shit. Man, this is funny. And these are green plates. How heavy are they? 25 pounds? They're 25-pound plates.
Heavy weights, progressive overload, but still focus.
Heavy weights, progressive overload. That's not progressive overload. It has to be in the opposite direction.
On the full range of motion and trying to get pretty strict. So like when I go with heavier curls like that, that's really only 10 or in some cases 20 pounds heavier than my high rep sets, right?
People say progressive overload. They mean everything that goes with gravity. But in the crazy lifting world, they equate that with eccentric. Concentric. They say concentric overload. Yeah. I mean, the moment you pick it up, gravity is weighing you down now. If you're holding a weight, it's definitely weighing you down. You know what I mean? Can you call that overload? Yeah, because the weight goes in the opposite direction. It goes with gravity. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it, whatever is sticking you to this planet, because some people are going to say there's no gravity. Okay, it's just a figure of speech, dude. I don't know. Maybe we're encapsulated in some pressurized thing with air and space, so it's pressurized. So the pressure is weighing us down. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever it is, gravity, dude. So there you go. So I don't know what they're talking about, this fucking overload, man. It's always eccentric.
Do super strict sets of 12 with, 20 pounds lighter. So when I go up to that, I can't even do the first rep strict. Notice that first rep, I have to cheat just a little, then it gets really strict. And that's something I've noticed on those. But those curls hurt. I also decided let's do a little bit of heavy tricep work. I just want to kind of see
He
where
does the same exercises every single day. They're like day in and day out, they're all the same. The same weight, the same exercise. I see people do this in the gym. Failure all around. They can't stop staring at me right now because I'm getting bigger and bigger all the time. Eventually, I'll probably make a video, I don't know, of it. But yeah, I just keep getting bigger all the time. Increments, man. I don't really give a shit. I don't eat carbohydrates to pump my muscles up. So it takes a little bit longer. Anyway, like I said, all these people, they lift the same like him, man. Lazy lifts, lazy, like fucking concentric lifting, concentric, you know, and very light. I saw one guy, he's doing like his rear delt, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's like taking the cable and he's just like putting it out like this, like going like this, back and forth, standing up with one arm, and it's like 5 pounds or something. I'm thinking, I want to ask him, like, what's going on over there, dude, with the 5 pounds? Like, what are you doing with that 5 pounds? Like, you expect that to do something, like actually do something? These people, they expect that just because they did 5 pounds, like something's supposed to happen, some magic is gonna happen there. Man, you really have to be out to lunch.
my strength is on this, and I didn't go all out. I didn't do a bunch of sets of triceps. I just did 2 sets. I don't want it to affect my benching, but it's also telling me same thing for the tricep work. On these long range of motion movements like this, I should probably be going pretty heavy.
Yeah, you should be going heavy eccentrically. Yes, yeah. Here's the thing. I just, for me personally, I just use dumbbells for this. I use cable work and dumbbells, and it's usually really, really, really heavy now. So the dumbbells, they're really heavy, and at some point, if I can't manage it, I just use my left arm to raise it, and I let it go down. I use resistance to go down. The resistance, it's how should I put it? I don't just let it drop, bro. Get it? It's I let it resist, okay? It's whatever you want to call it, with good form or whatever. Anyways, I even the cable machine, I from behind my back, I'll just pick it up with 2 arms, bring it up, and let my arm lower it. So I do eccentrics first, as many as I can do until I can't muster anymore. But I remember, we're always in eccentric exercise. You're always going heavier. You're not doing cluster sets, drop sets. You're not going lighter. You're going heavier. Do you understand me? In eccentric exercise, you're always going heavier. As heavy as you can go if you want to get more gains. Look, originally in my regime, when I started lifting, what I do is I just come in and I would just overwork every muscle group on the day, right? Split and work it all, and then let it repair and remodel the whole week. I still would do eccentric, concentric, but I would use the eccentric to overwork the muscle. I would overwork every muscle, so I would get eccentric work. I would get muscle damage from the overworking. Now, when I reached a plateau, I think it was like I was at 255 pounds, and I just couldn't move my weight anymore because doing these eccentric, concentric, workouts, working every muscle, overworking it on the day, there was no more. It wouldn't give anymore. So I had to start doing something called eccentric overload. Get it? Progressive overloading it. Yeah. So it would resist heavier and heavier weight. So to move from 255 to 285, that's what you got to do. So if you want to go from 255 to 300 pounds of real muscle, you got to fucking do a lot of work. Now, I'm not saying that at that time it was all muscle. Definitely there was some sarcoplasm because I was using starch as a means of energy, an energy source to come in. Yeah, I would still get some pumps on the day. It would get pumped up. But that's not my goal. I want to pump my muscles up. I know I was always aware that in eccentric exercise, you could get more sarcoplasmic hypertrophy than you could in concentric. That's why I did a video on my old channel. I did a video. I did specific training for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I did one complete video thing, and I showed, look, 20 pounds of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You could get this and 4 weeks, 5 weeks, working out once a week. So you would get a light damage session, and then protein synthesis, glycogen synthesis would be extended for the entire week. So when you go home, you fucking just eat bowls and bowls of starch, potatoes the whole week, and then the sarcoplasm would expand. So every week you just keep putting on weight like crazy. So you'd look like you have muscle, but it ain't muscle though, bro, whatever. The point is, but in real eccentric exercise, you do need some expanding of the sarcoplasm. Definitely helps, because you need space for these myofibrillars. They got to go somewhere, get it? When they build, they need space. So the sarcoplasm kind of makes space for it. But if you're just doing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, like concentric people, they're just trying to load it. They're not really in that phase where they can load more than possible. Then they take steroids to load more of it. It's crazy, man. It's just a never-ending loser story, whatever. They don't understand nothing about bodybuilding. They don't understand how these mechanisms work. Fuck, I talk to people online. They don't even know what sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is. They're like, wow, what's that? And I go, that's what you're doing. And they're like, what? That's what you do. I go, I laugh at people.
I should be with a little bit more moderate reps, because I feel like, again, let's just hammer the triceps with some serious tension, some serious weight, and ultimately...
Okay, so then why aren't you, Blaha? Why aren't you?
And just do band work if I want to get good pumps at the end, just like I do with bicep.
See, that's all he's concerned about. I just do band work if I want to get good pumps. He wants to get good pumps. Bodybuilding is not about pumps. It's not about pumping. Fuck, man, he's so brain dead.
So again, the same thing. I think on my chest and tricep day, we're going to do that. Of course, we do pullovers. The pullovers are adding plenty of volume, and I tend to
pullovers are adding plenty of volume. Okay, yeah, okay.
Do that on both back and bicep days, and that does hit the long head. But notice with the curls, I can't do that.
That head is never going to change. That head and face is getting old. It's aged. Looks like 85 years old. His body looks 85. What he looks like 85 with some low body fat now, that's all. He's been doing something, some drug, like Ozempic for old people.
That first rep strict. But then the second rep, notice how much stricter it is. I've noticed that it's really interesting to me with these curls. And that's something that is just consistent through all the sets. So it's just an interesting observation. But with the curls, I'm like, well, let's just try to go heavy, but let's go through a full range of motion. In other words, let's lock it. Let's bring it up to the face while keeping tension with the wrist cocked back. Try to control those eccentric reps, right? And it hurt like hell. Dropping the reps down like that, I don't get.
He controlling the eccentrics? He's controlling the eccentrics now. They hurt like hell dropping them down. They're not supposed to hurt like hell going down.
The same pump, but in terms of just feeling like a stabbing deep contract.
Yeah, you get pumps. You get better pumps eccentrically than you would concentrically. It's a known fact, but man, he must be watching my videos at this point, right? I like how he says it's a stabbing kind of. He's making shit up.
Definitely felt that. But again, I can get the pump work, which I got off the bands, gives me the pump. So again, the same concept I take with...
Yeah, listen to what he's saying. I'm going to get pump work from bands. Pump work? Who's just doing pump work? What's that?
Legs and back and some of this other stuff I've done. Should probably apply it a little more to my arms, right? I need a nice heavy movement. I really need to be putting some real tension on the biceps.
Yeah.
And even if that means the reps drop a little, we do that. But it's actually, again, noting that's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That heavier weight. These extensions, I got around 7. This is 110 pounds. I got 7. So I think I may try to work with this weight at the end of my benching sessions, right? And if I need volume for them, and I didn't want to do a bunch today. I just wanted to assess it and try to see, if how much different it feels when I try to go heavier. But that exercise is easy on the elbow. So again, I think after all my pressing, I can probably do those extensions and then just band it up if I need to for the pump work. We can always band it up, or I can even do a little bit.
What's with him and this pump work? What's he pumping in there? Glycogen? He's pumping glycogen in his muscles. He has no muscles, so he has no muscles. He's just a little bit pumped with some glycogen. What a poor sot. My God, this is sad.
Of incline work, but
low body fat, no muscle, and just pumped.
Again.
Oh, and don't forget inflammation. He's inflamed because he lifts every day.
The idea here,
Yeah.
Get in and just hit some tension on it, right? Get some real tension on it.
Don't forget that lactic acid too. It's in there too. You gotta like stick that in there. And those cotton balls and chewing bubble gum inside there and whatever else and cooties.
There. So with the curls, this last set, the same thing. This last rep, I knew I didn't have another rep, so I forced it up. It was a grind. I'm like, let me control it. Just lower it under as much control as I can, and then that's failure, right?
Lower it as much as you can. That's failure. That's not, bro. The load is not enough. Bringing it down eccentrically, just because you're bringing it down slow, that doesn't do anything. I don't know. People are brain dead. Your muscles are adapted to these exercises. They adapted the very first time you came in when you started doing them eccentrically. The moment it hit, it protected itself. That's it.
Under as much control as I can, and then that's failure, right? Because I struggled with that last rep, and I'm like, let's just fight the eccentric. We get to the bottom, we're done.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I need a little more intensity for the biceps. We don't need crazy volume. Okay. We just need quality. And like I said, I can pump them up at the end with the bands if I want to get that extra fatigue. So the same thing with these alternating curls. I went up from 28s to 38s, put another pair of 5s on each one. Again, 8 to 9 reps was really hard, but the same thing. Try to control, get that squeeze at the top. Try to get a little control on the way down. Again, hurt like hell.
Oh, yeah?
Hurt like hell. My biceps.
Yeah, hurt it.
Were hurting during all of this, and that's a good
Really? Yeah. Oh.
thing, right? That's a good thing. My quads hurt when I do heavy squats.
Let me tell you something. If it's hurting, you're just worked out and it's hurting like right now. He's just working out in the garage and complaining it's hurting right now. Then that's bad. That means your body is fucking. You're destroying it. That's what it means.
Right? My lats hurt like that when I do even 5s or 6s on pull-ups.
My lats don't hurt when I do that. They hurt. They hurt the next day, for the next 2-3 days. But the very next day, not on the day.
So those muscles are massive. My quads are big. My lats are big.
Those muscles are massive? Why do you have to say they're massive? Then you should be able to produce them. You don't have to say. Body would be doing the talking. You don't have to speak, dude.
So
what are you talking about, Blaha? Blaha, what are you talking about?
Let's just train arms the same way.
Let's just train arms the same way. Look at him. He trains them exactly the same every single day in every video.
I train these other dominant muscles, and I think we need more.
Dominant muscles, man. I don't know, man. I love making for these videos on Blaha, man. These reaction videos. Blaha's funny. Really, he's funny, but whatever. He's definitely entertaining. You gotta say. He's great. He pumps out a lot of content, bro. It's a lot of useless bullshit, but... And I understand, man. It's a job. He has to pump out content because this is what he does for a living, YouTube. But it's not really serving him well because he's one of those loser lifters out there. Nobody likes him. Look at this body and him and his lifting. They don't give a shit.
Or that they're going to get a little more volume. So here's the idea. Let's just train biceps.
He had to lie, make up stuff to become popular from stuff that actually destroyed his reputation online. He destroyed it by trying to raise people to get people to join his channel. So because he was late to the party at the fitness party. So he was hurrying up trying to become like all these other fitness influencers. I have to get up to 100,000. So a kid did a video on Blaha, showed that Blaha bought his subscribers. That's why YouTube punished him. That's why his channel doesn't grow, because they punished him. So what does Blaha do? He just keeps pumping out material, but they don't allow anybody to find his videos. And his views now, they're nothing. They're in the, a few hundred here, a few hundred there. I mean, he gets the most views when he just sits and talks because people don't want to see him lift. He's crazy. He thinks they want to see him lift. This is useless. This is boring. That's why his live videos are more popular than his exercise videos. Even the videos where he's talking and giving explanations about stuff. But because he keeps lifting, like he had better stuff when he talked about natty or nots or people before. Just he would sit there and talk behind a screen and make these crazy bullets and shit and all that. People watched him, but they're not watching him doing this. They're not interested.
Twice a week, just as hard as I train my legs or my lats. Because again, I like
this exercising is nothing new. It's not entertaining at all whatsoever. Him throwing these weights up and down, doing weird stuff. People, they don't care.
The idea of the 2 bicep days. I've been doing that a while, but I also have to look at: am I getting the most out of it, or am I just pumping for no reason? Like,
yeah, he's pumping for no reason. Concentrically, he's not getting anything out of it. He's just wasting his time.
I think we need some tension, more and more tension, and it's not really different. It's doing the same exercises, right?
Tension.
I'm still focusing on my
You definitely need tension, yes, sir. You do need that mechanical tension, yes.
basics, but
Yeah.
get in and just hammer them. Get in and hammer them.
Hammer
and
them.
then we finished up with 3 sets of band curls.
Get in there and
to
hammer them, dudes.
failure, right? Which ended up being
Failure.
higher reps than I guess.
Just get in there and hammer them, dude. Dude. Get in there, dude, and hammer the shit out of them, dude.
Sometimes on them, because I'm just like, let me just push them.
Yeah.
So I felt like the reps were all like close to 30
Sure.
with the same bands I normally use. But again, here's the idea. Let's
the
just
idea.
get some weight on the biceps. So we did 6s.
Get some weight on those
the barbell
biceps.
curls. These were around 8 to 9. This is a bit heavier than I
Yes.
normally do. But
Really? It's a bit heavier than he normally does. Okay.
again, we want to really load them up. Just like my pull-ups, I'm doing 5s on pull-ups. I'll do 12s on the other back work. Okay, but
I think Blaha's getting smaller. He's getting smaller and smaller.
again, has this worked for a lot of my other muscles? Yeah. So I need to start thinking of my arms in the same way.
Oh.
Other than we prioritize them by saying, hey, let's do biceps twice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do them at the end of back. Give them at least some work, and then let's have a separate day where we come in and just hammer them out like this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I think it works well. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that heavy barbell curls though on the back day. I can probably still do the dumbbells. Then we'll do some bands. The bands, of course, this is where we get the pump. It's like, okay, we've done all those other movements. Now let's get in and let's just pump the hell out of them. But then
Look, he's pumping the hell out of them. He's pumping them. Jesus.
they were hurting. My biceps hurt after all that other work. So to even do these, then we hit this pump.
Pump.
Feels like a blowtorch.
You hit the pump. Pump. They're hurting.
Hitting them now because of the burn.
Yeah.
Right? So again, the same thing, trying to get that squeeze, get that quality
That squeeze, get that burn in there.
contraction, make it hurt. And that
Make it hurt.
was my goal on this. I wanted on these, because it's going to be more peak contraction, the band jerks down. I squeezed at the top. I wanted, especially once we got to around rep 19 or 20, everything past that, I wanted to squeeze so hard that it hurt. I wanted it to be painful, and that's the idea. I'm going to
What? I want to squeeze so hard I want to make it painful? That's the idea? That doesn't make any sense. You want to make it painful. Why would you want to make it painful? For what purpose?
have to treat this. This is how I train my legs. Let's just do
Well, that's why your legs are like that. If you train them like that, of course, we expect.
biceps the same way from here on. We don't even worry about, hey, let's just chase all this volume now. Let's get some quality heavy work, make it hurt like hell, and then we'll pump them out.
What? That didn't make any sense. Make some quality work, make them hurt like hell, and then pump them out. You want to pump them out? Okay, whatever.
Until they just burn and hurt on top of it, and focus on those quality contractions there. And overall, I feel like it's worked pretty well today. I feel like
Can somebody tell me what the hell is Blaha talking about?
I got a super intense bicep session. Keeping in mind this is the second one of the week.
Yeah.
So again, did this and did my fasted cardio. Overall, pretty happy with it.
He did his fasted cardio? What these useless things he's copying people out there, man? You're crazy, man. Don't you have your own experiences, Blaha? Don't you have your own, like, what you do? You have to copy all the fake stuff that people are doing out there? Jesus.
I feel like I'm looking pretty jacked while doing these.
You don't look jacked, bro. You just look like you've lost some fat taking something like Ozempic, some fake stuff you've been taking from the doctor's office. I don't know. But you look like you don't have any muscle, man. You're flat. You don't have any muscle. You weigh 100 and I don't know, 70 pounds or 80 pounds.
See, the shoulders are really
You're just what what's his name? Alpha Destiny. I don't know. You just maybe you're an inch or two taller than him. I'm not sure. Looks like an inch or two, maybe two. That's about it. Alpha Destiny's really short, but you're short too. But I think you're just a little bit taller than Alpha Destiny, but it's only 2 inches.
starting to fill out. So I hope it's been informative,
Fill out.
and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Very informative. I'm not buying it. Fill out. What are you talking about? I don't know what's going on here, man. He's got coach has got some slots open, guys. So get ready. He's $200. He's got a discount too. Code discount Coach Blaha. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.